you can see here the rollers, the return rollers, and the hole, of course. And on the back you can see clearly the back parts turned upside down, so you can see a bit more. I have some trouble with what this is called. Yeah, this part here. It's movable. You can flip it up or down. And it was not very clear to see how this is mounted on the model. So I have to ask the internet, and yeah, I found something, and I decided to flip this up so you can see more of the back part of the kit, like the exhaust pipes, one of the hatches for the engine. Yeah, and it's not the rate of details on the lower side is very nice, I think, for a Tamiya kit. I have to say this is one of my favorite Tamiya kits at the moment. It went together like nothing. And this is the front part of the tank with the casted part here, and flipped up down again, and the hinges at the front. Yeah, this is the lower hull at the moment. It's so far done. It's now I can start to paint the lower parts. So put that on the back, and here is one of my suspension parts. I sanded the rollers because there was a seam line in the middle of the rollers. I sent them away, and for two reasons. First of all, of course, the seam line is away, and also that the rollers look a bit used. So, and this one, you are able to, or you can leave them movable, the wheels, so that you can turn them. But I glued them together because it's only a display tank. Yeah. And I have, of course, I've done all of them. So here they are. And this is my drive sprocket. I put them on a Q-tip so it's easier to handle when I start to paintbrush them. Let's only focus on the back parts. So, zoom there. Nothing more to say about that part. The tracks. Here's one of the tracks I will use the rubber band tracks. I think these are very nice, and I hope the paint will stick quite well on them. Here's the connection. First I glued them, but I don't trust the glue, and so I also stapled them. Later you will not see them. I will put the staples somewhere where you can't see them later. Yeah, that's all about my suspension parts and the lower hull at the moment. As I said, I have to paint them next, and then I will show you the next steps from the painting them. So some historical background about the suspension. If you're not interested, please write it in the comment and I will leave them away next time. You can see that the Easy 8 has such a kind of suspension. This is called the horizontal vulture spring suspension. This was needed because the Easy 8 or the Sherman E3 version has got a 76mm gun in the turret, and they need a bigger turret, and they upgraded the armor and everything else, so the weight was increased. And the normal or the old version of the suspension was pushed to their limits, and so they have to design a new version of suspension. They went away from the what was it called, horizontal vulture spring suspension to they went to the horizontal Vulture spring suspension from the vertical Vulture spring suspension. So this is the horizontal version. That means that every part of the suspension was built in horizontally, like the shock absorbers and the springs. So they were able to put wider tracks on the tank for a better to reduce the ground force, and they were able to put they doubled the rollers. So you have 2 rollers on every swing arm. The old version has got only 1 roller on every spring arm because the suspension was built in vertical. I haven't got a part of a vertical spring suspension, so I have to show it on this little instruction sheet. I hope you can see it. Here you can see that this is a normal Sherman version, the earlier ones, and here is the part with the springs, and they were built vertical, not horizontal. And they only have 1 roller on every swing arm, and the other version, or the newer version, has got 2 rollers on every spring arm. So they were able to put wider tracks on it because they had the problems on muddy ground or on soft ground, but the heavier Shermans started to stuck in the mud. So they were able to put wider tracks on it. They changed the diameter from, I think it was 42 centimeters to 58 centimeters tracks, and yeah, that's the upgrade. And the crew said, said that is very pleasant to ride, and so they called it the Easy Tank from the E8, and so the name was created Easy 8 because the E version, easy ride, as it was an easy riding, so E8. Well, that's the whole story about the name Easy 8, and yeah, that's another technical blah blah about the tank, about the suspension. Thank you.